And now, broadcasting live from the Darkroom Studio at Craven Community College, it's In the Know.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to In the Know. I'm Craig Ramey.
Good morning, Craig. I'm Megan Johnson. I couldn't understand why I couldn't hear anything, but my earpiece fell out.
Yeah, it happens sometimes.
It does.
But it's so great to see you on this beautiful Thursday morning.
It is a beautiful Thursday
morning. We're here in the Darkroom Studio at Craven Community College for our weekly In the Know show.
In the Know show.
Yeah.
Did you mean to rhyme?
I didn't, but I like it when it happens.
I do too.
Accidental rhymes. Is there a thing called accidental rhyme? There's a near rhyme in poetry, but is it an accidental rhyme?
I'm not sure. We could
Probably.
look it up.
We'll get somebody smart to chime in on the comments. Yeah.
Well, speaking of smart,
Yeah.
we got some smart people on the other side of the glass.
They're the ones who make sure that we can actually be seen out there.
That's
I assume
right.
people can see us. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
We got a lot of people in here today.
Yeah, it's busy in there. We got Joseph, we got Suzanne, we got Holly.
And we got a special guest with us, too.
Who we have over there with us?
Hi,
Martha
Martha.
Brown.
Good morning.
Good morning, Martha Brown. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, everybody doing all right today?
Yes, we are doing all good.
Yeah.
All good.
Holly gave the thumbs up, so I believe her. Double thumbs up. There's no stopping us
thumbs.
today.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're excited? You got any big weekend plans coming up?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
All right.
Well, our guest, we do have a special guest.
We do.
You want to talk
Yeah,
about
of course,
that?
yeah,
Because
so-
that might incorporate some of my plans.
I see. So in just a little bit, we'll have our special guest on here with us today. It's Bud Ellis, who is from the Cape Lookout Sail and Power Squadron. He's going to be teaching one of our upcoming CEP classes, America's Boating Course.
Community Enrichment Program.
That's right.
Your CEP. Absolutely. So, yes, my segue might be, yes, we will probably take the boat out.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you the story when Bud's on with us.
Okay. Very
About
good.
this past weekend.
Yeah.
Because, boating life is boating life. You
Yeah.
just never know
It
what's
can be
gonna happen.
unpredictable.
It is
Yeah.
very unpredictable,
Yeah.
but it's good.
So what's our date today? Do we have something special happening? Is it?
So today, April 24th, is National Neck Care Day.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Neck Care
Neck
Day.
Care Day. Yes. Did you like that? He took me off as like stroked my décolletage.
No, it's good that it's National Neck Care Day because sometimes I don't hear so well, and I thought you said Neck Hair Day.
No.
And a neck hair day is very different.
Neck Hair Day. Let's
Yes.
hope that I don't have Neck Hair Day.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it happens.
It
but
happens sometimes. I
it
guess
does.
it can happen to anybody.
It does. So 17% of 2,000 women that were a survey was conducted with them pay attention to caring for their neck.
Mm-hmm.
That means a third of women do not use skincare or skincare products on their neck.
Is this to tighten it up? Is that the purpose?
I mean, it's like just your regular skincare routine, right?
Okay.
So,
you just don't go past the chin. You're just like,
well, so your neck skin is much thinner than the other part, and it's got a lot less collagen than your facial skin.
Okay.
So you have to take extra care of that. And a lot of women, like myself, because I've voiced many times I'm not good with self-care, so I don't think about it, right? So I'm like, I'm a one and done. I want to get it on, get it done, and not think about it. So these are a couple things that you're supposed to do.
okay, for neck care.
Neck care.
Okay.
Wash your neck thoroughly, gentle cleanser. I'm just going to run through them really quickly. Use a gentle exfoliant a few times a week. I don't. Moisturize your neck just as you would your face. I do.
Okay.
I do that. Consider to incorporate neck-specific products for nightly skincare. I don't.
No.
Wear sunscreen.
What does that call it? Just neck cream?
Neck cream, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure there is. If I knew, I probably would use it.
Okay, fair enough.
So, and then use sunscreen daily, especially when you're going to be out on the boats. So I wanted to share that because our esthetician technology certificate that we have here in our program at Craven, of course, the students learn all about that in the dermatology and the chemistry and the anatomy. But as the community, we also can partake in their learning process, so you can go and get some treatments.
That's
there,
right. It's a very good
facials
point.
And things.
For people who do not know that, I don't know the hours right off the top of my head. We can maybe put
it is in the link, so we can. Yeah, there's a place where you can look for services. They will be closing up pretty soon for the end of the school year, and then they'll be back in August.
Yeah.
To provide services, but it's a great way because they've learned a lot, and then to be able to share with you, like my first facial well, we had on Shelby on the air. So my first facial was actually on the air, but my first facial in the studio was actually here at Craven.
Yeah, same for me. I've only had one, and it was in our esthetician lab.
And my daughter did it.
Oh,
which
look at
was
that.
very
Yeah,
cool.
so there's some photos from the lab.
Yeah.
People might be surprised at the equipment that we have in there. It's a full-on experience.
It's amazing quality. Yeah, it really is. So anyway, look forward to doing that, learning a few things, make sure that you take care of your neck. And if you're interested in becoming an esthetician and joining the program, the application process has ended, but I would still encourage you to, because there's a few prerequisites. So you might want to start talking to one of our advisors about what that requires.
That's great advice.
Yeah. So.
And there's always work in that field too.
There is, and it's wide. It's a wide variety of work. It's not just limited to doing facials or eyebrows or that kind of stuff. So
and you can live in lots of fun places with that job too, right? Because it tends to be a spa job, obviously, and so people like to go on vacation. And a lot of times, hotels, luxury resorts will have an esthetician on staff, and so you think about anywhere you wanted to go in the world, you could go and have a...
Yeah, like if you wanted ship life or if you wanted island life or that kind of stuff, you can do anything for 6 months and go try it out.
That's true. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Very good. Well, now I feel like I am due for another facial. Because I sometimes have a beard, I'm inconsistent with what I do.
Yeah.
But when I am shaving on a regular basis, I will put the lotion and the moisturizing. But once I get this much...
Go below here.
Yeah.
Remember, just go below here.
Yeah. All right, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah. Boop. Yep.
Yeah.
That's
And I'll make that noise when I do it too. Yeah, go.
See that part.
Yeah, but you're saying boop when you do it too. You boop your neck.
I want you to boop.
Okay.
Boop boop.
I love it. All right, so as we celebrate National Neck Care Day,
and remember your sunscreen when we're going to go boating with Bud.
That's right. Welcome to the show, Bud. Good to see you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Yeah, so Bud, you're here. You're going to be talking about the upcoming America's Boating course we have,
Yes,
as
I am.
well as the Cape Lookout Sail and Power Squadron. That you're a part of that association, and through that, you're teaching the class with it.
That's right. The Power Squadron covers the entire country, and we have squadrons all up and down both coasts, up and down the Mississippi River, all kinds of little lakes all around the country. It's an organization that preaches boat safety. It also has a community service aspect, and we work on cleanup. We do stuff around the rivers and things to improve the quality of the water, and we also have fun.
Yeah.
Which is what it's all about in the first place.
Right. I think that's why most people get a boat in the first place.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not supposed to. I mean, you can get a job doing work on a boat, obviously, but you get your own boat for fun, right? Yeah. So,
Your own.
yeah. But I mean, so a big part of it is safety. So let's help people understand what this class is about. Who's the ideal person to take this class?
We'll take anybody.
Okay.
We have people that have never been on a boat, people that just bought their first boat, people that have traveled up and down the waterway, and wives especially, or spouses. We have a program called Suddenly in Command, and if something happens to the boater and somebody else needs to take care of the boat, we teach people how to do that.
I don't think it won't ever happen. It has happened.
That sounds like something that happened last weekend.
Well, no, it's happened in the past. No, this past weekend is different. I'll tell you that story
Okay,
in a little bit.
all right. Yeah. But this course is directed to everybody that is interested in boating.
Okay.
We talk about how boats are made. We talk about how to find your way around on the water. It's not like driving up and down the highway. Once you get out on the Neuse River, you see a river that's many miles long and many miles wide. And you can't tell what's under the water surface just by looking.
And I think that's an important point too, right? Because let's say somebody has just retired and they live somewhere else with their boat on the water, and now they've moved here, and they're going to go out on the water and they're going to think, well, I already know everything I need to know, but they're not going to know all the different depths and all the special little places you can and shouldn't go. And I'm guessing this course will help you navigate some of those areas as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
People come from all over the country. We came from Indiana 35 years ago, and we boated on lakes. And
Yeah.
we came down here and saw the Neuse River the first time. We almost fainted.
Yeah.
And the river, it's a beautiful river. It's
It
one
is,
of the
yeah.
most fantastic rivers in the country. And so is the Trent. And there are lots of places to go from where we're located here in New Bern. We can go out to the coast and go north and south as far as you want to go in the country. You can cross the Atlantic without any effort for leaving this area right here.
Mm-hmm.
And so we direct our course generally to everybody.
Yeah.
And we talk a little bit about water and rivers, in the sounds, in the ocean, in lakes, and the different ways that you handle a boat when you're in those different situations.
But I vaguely remember there was a, I don't know if it's a law or it's just a recommendation, but if you are navigating a boat and you were born after 1988, you're supposed to be holding a safety card. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
And this course qualifies for that. At the end of this course, we will give you that card.
And that's anything on the water that's got motors. So a Sea-Doo, a bass boat, a motor yacht, whatever the case may be, you're supposed to have one.
That's exactly right. And, we also have people that have kayaks and canoes that come in. Mm-hmm. They have certain responsibilities as well when they're on the water. They just can't go out there and get in everybody's way. Mm-hmm. So there are ways that you meet each other and things that you are supposed to do so that everybody stays safe and we don't have wrecks like we've had on the river in the past. We've had several fatalities since I've been here, and that can be avoided. Mm-hmm. So we try to keep people educated to the point where they are safe on the water and everybody else is safe around them.
Well, you brought up a good point. Lake boating is very different than the river. Then we have the sound, we have the creeks, and then we have the ocean. So all of that you're going to incorporate in your course because it is very different. I mean, having done all of that on our boats, it is something that you have to be well aware of. And it's a teamwork. So especially if you end up in rough water, and I mean, I can remember last year we were coming back from Shackelford, and it was the weekend of the Big Rock tournament, and it was blowing a gale. I'm talking in not just the boat wake, but the current and the waves. It was huge, and you've got these big 44-footers coming up and just about swamp you. I mean, we've got a big boat. We're in a 24-footer, but they're flying and they're coming at you, and I'm having to taller to my husband so he can navigate the waves, and so we don't get swamped. And I'm like, 11 o'clock, big one. And I'm yelling as we're coming in the inlet. But that's the way you have to do it. It's teamwork, So. Because they don't come with rear view mirrors, Not all boats do. Some do. This one doesn't.
Since you brought up weather, we do teach a weather class. It is very comprehensive. Unfortunately, there was a boat lost out at Ocracoke last weekend, and due strictly to waves coming through the inlet, and it rolled the boat sideways and out of the channel and up onto a shoal. Ooh. And by the time they were rescued, the boat, there's not much left of it.
Wow.
So, and it's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
I was caught once in that inlet between Shackelford and Ocracoke on a smaller boat. It was a group of us, and we were out there on a couple of skiffs, and we were coming in just to go on Shackelford for the day, and got turned sideways just as it was coming in, and we all almost flipped over just because it's just so rough and chaotic out there. And there were experienced boaters out there. It was just 1 second of getting turned the wrong way.
Yeah.
And we almost flipped.
And we talk about that in this class. We don't dwell on it, but we do mention it. And for people that are not familiar with this kind of boating, it's a good introduction. Mm-hmm. And then they know what questions to ask and look for people that can answer them for them.
Yeah. So. But what do you think is like the number one mistake that people are making, or the number one thing that you hope somebody takes out of this course that is like a preventable safety measure?
Alcohol and boating do not mix.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah.
That was almost a leading question, but yes, that's exactly the biggest problem on the water is alcohol. Mm-hmm. And you lose your judgment, and you take risks that you shouldn't, and you ignore other people that need to be taken care of.
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm. So alcohol is a big problem.
I would also think ignoring maintenance is another one. So there's a great there's a great ad, and I'm not getting any endorsements from it, but I'm not going to. There's two towing companies out there.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It is not expensive, and I highly recommend you get it. Their ad says, "Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it."
And that is exactly right.
It is.
I remember we had to call them 4 times during one summer.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
Since then, things have been fixed, but
Yeah, because you need some kind of maintenance every year, right?
you do. And like we purchased an older boat, and as you do that, and you don't know its history, and it turned out it was the fuel tank had so much gunk in it from years past, so it kept clogging up the filters, the fuel filters, and then it would stall. And I can tell you, we stalled again in huge surf right there on the corner at Newport River and where the inlet meets, I don't get seasick. I thought I was going to lose my cookies.
Yeah.
And I couldn't wait. Could not wait. In fact, when they showed up, my husband's like chit-chatting with the guy. I'm like, get us hooked up and get us out of here. I'm going to lose it. And it was cold.
Yeah.
It was like November. It was windy. It was crazy. So, yeah. And the guy showed up with his dog, which was really cool. So towed us out of there.
Yeah.
And I'll say for those fellas that they know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, of course.
They know how to approach a situation, how to get a line to you, whether you're aground or whether you're disabled. If you have injured people on the boat, Coast Guard gets involved. There are lots of resources out there to help you stay safe. So
I don't think we've mentioned it yet. We definitely want to make sure that we do. The next class that's coming up is happening on Saturday, May 3rd and Saturday, May 10th, right?
that is correct.
So the classes, it's a 2-day class, right? That goes from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m.
That's correct.
Okay. And so if anybody is wanting to register for this class, you can see that we have the link up on the screen there. It's cravencc.edu/CEP. So May 3rd, that's next Saturday.
Right.
There's still time to get into the class, but not much more. So you'll want to go ahead and act on this sooner than later. Yeah.
The sooner the better. Then we'll know how many instructors we'll have and things like that. This is our favorite class to teach. We present ourselves to the public. Hopefully they take something away from this class that they will use for the rest of their boating career.
And we should note, some people might think that this class involves going out on the water, and it does not.
It
right?
does
This
not.
is much more of a classroom educational experience than it is going out on the water experience. Yeah, do that on your own after the class
There you
safely.
go. Absolutely.
Yeah.
With your card in your pocket.
Yeah.
And the other thing is you'll meet new friends in this class, people with a common interest in boating. And these classes we've had, pretty soon people are out going together, going boating. So you find people with power boats, sailboats, kayaks, canoes, ski-doos, you name it, it's in the class.
But I'm looking at your shirt, and it says Cape Lookout Sail and Power Squadron. Tell us a little bit about that.
The squadron was formed 67 years ago, and this squadron has been here in New Bern the entire time. And everything that they have done in the past, we continue to do today. And it is an organization that we meet for dinner bi-monthly, and we have all kinds of activities. We have an administration officer right now that's just got us going every place. We've been in 2 boat manufacturing plants in the last month.
Nice.
So you learn how things are put
Where'd you
together.
go?
Well, yeah.
Where did you go?
Oh, we went to Grady White, and we went to Hatteras.
Nice.
And it was nice to see Hatteras had a large boat on under construction again. I was happy to see that. And next month we're going up to the conservation lab for Blackbeard's Queen Anne's Revenge, and so we're going to go up and tour that facility. So everybody's looking forward to that.
That's awesome. How does somebody become a part of that?
First, you take this class. This is one of the requirements to join the squadron. You take this class or a similar class, and membership is open to everybody. It's open to anybody that's interested in boating. An individual membership is $100, and a family membership is $150. Nice. And it's worth every penny of it. So we would invite anybody interested in the organization to come to this class and meet us, and we'll see if we can't find something common to interest everybody.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's a great experience for all ages too, right? Somebody's just getting into boating, or somebody who's experienced and looking for other boaters to spend time with, right?
One of the things we emphasize is life jackets. And some people don't believe it, but any child under 13 years old is required by law to have a jacket on while they're in the boat. That doesn't mean it can be under the seat, and it can't be in a bag someplace. They have to have it on. And that can be somewhat expensive if they don't.
Yeah.
So, and it's also, you never want to lose a child. The thing about boating is you're out to have fun. And if you have a problem, you stop having fun.
Yeah.
And don't let them hang off the bow.
Absolutely
That's another
not.
thing.
Absolutely
That's a
not.
scary thought. That's like sticking kids in the back of the pickup truck.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
It's like feeding them into a into a blender.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so you don't want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Just probably a lot of common sense is involved with this too. But yeah, it's really good to know. People need to, if they're going to be out on the water and they haven't taken this course before, they should anyway, just to get that basic safety down and be safe for others too.
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So do you want to hear what my mishap?
Yeah. What happened? You
Okay,
made
so
a
we
mistake.
went out. That's all right. We went out on the noose, and we got up. We went down the Trent. Then we went up to the noose, and then we came back. We put out at Lawson Creek, and my husband's better judgment, because it was a Friday afternoon, and it was blowing really hard southwest. It was like 16 to 20, and which means it blows the water out. Okay, so we draw about 3.5 feet. So when we started approaching back into the dock, we were about, 200 yards away. Yes, that was the noise.
Yeah.
So there's crab pots, and the crab pots, a lot of times they drop them in the channel. And because the lead on the buoy, and you're approaching the dock, so you're not full throttle, and so the wind creeped us and we hit the crab pot. So our dual prop got chewed up. And so, of course, one of the things that we didn't talk about was also kind of a Good Samaritan thing. I can't tell you how many times we've towed people in, or we've had people to stop and help us. But there was a gentleman who was being towed in, but they needed help again because the wind was so tough. It took 2 of us on the dock to grab the leads to get his boat back onto the dock as well, so the other one could leave and not run into the dock. So it's tricky, and it's one of those things that you've got. It's experience, and sometimes it's hard knocks, and we've had plenty of hard knocks over the years. And my husband, he's been on the water and navigating these waters for 60 years, so 50 some years.
Yeah. But it's interesting you say that with the wind blowing the water out, because I have a friend that's in Hidden Harbor, and his boat's been sitting on the mud a couple of times over the last week, just from it getting pushed out, and it's got nothing to float on.
And again, if you're not familiar with the area, you're not going to know that. There was plenty of water for us to get in and out of the boat ramp, but it's all of a sudden you're in 17 feet and it goes 4 foot. Whoops.
Yeah.
One of the things about our instructors in this class, every one of them is an experienced boater. People have been blue water sailors out in the ocean, up and down the waterway, up and down the Neuse River, been here for years, know all the ins and outs, all the places to go and all the places to stay away from. And we tend to tell a lot of stories as well as what's in this book. And then we get people in the class talking too that have boats, and this happened to me. And that's as educational as what you read in this book.
Sure.
So,
funny story. My last one. We were at Minnesota with our boating group, and we were coming back, and the what is it called? The carburetor was something wasn't firing. So my husband had to lift up the engine box, hold the carburetor, and it was on full throttle, and I had to drive it to the boat dock. It was an interesting ride home. Let me just say, we got there.
Now this is
safely.
what happens. You
But
become MacGyver out on the water if you want to
he
get
is
home.
MacGyver.
Yeah.
I just take directions, so whatever you want me to do. But we got there.
Yeah.
Everything was good.
Nice.
Everything's fixable.
Yeah. That's
Yep.
true. Yeah, I think that's a good point with the stories, right? A lot of people you just learn from. You think this could never happen, or it just gives you one more thing to be aware of while you're out on the water.
experience is the best teacher.
Yes.
And it's our instructors are very experienced, have had lots of things happen, and they are not afraid to tell you that they made a mistake.
Yeah,
And
very good.
this is the result. Yeah. So.
And that's just boating. It is. Just stay safe. That's the biggest thing. Stay safe. This class is going to help. Register Saturday, May 3rd and May 10th from 8 to 4, $90, worth every dime.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yes.
All right. Great.
Yes.
Bud, it's been great having you on the show today.
Thank
really
you for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
Yeah, and thanks for teaching this class for us. I'm sure lots of people in our community are going to want to come out and learn more about boating and boating safety.
I certainly hope so. Looking
Yes.
forward.
Wonderful. Thank you again.
Mm-hmm.
And enjoy this beautiful weekend out on the water.
All right. Well, you know what that means?
Yes. It's
It's time for community events. The famous play Something Rotten is coming to the Masonic Theater in New Bern from April 25th to May 10th, with showtimes at 7:30 p.m. Friday to Saturday and 3 p.m. on Sundays. Set in the 1590s, that was just yesterday, Something Rotten follows brothers Nick and Nigel Bottom, two struggling playwrights desperate to step out of the shadow of William Shakespeare. Packed with show-stopping musical numbers and a hilariously eccentric cast of characters, Something Rotten is a laugh-out-loud celebration of creativity, ambition, and the magic of theater. Tickets can be purchased at rivertownplayers.org.
the Havelock Chamber of Commerce, in partnership with Havelock Appearance Commission and the City of Havelock, are excited to announce the Havelock Spring Festival this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Walter B. Jones Park and Havelock City Park, with live entertainment, food vendors, and retail market and family activities. This festival showcases the vibrant spirit of Havelock for all ages. And because the Havelock campus is just down the street, if we have overflow parking, come join us.
Come on down. The New Bern Follies, playing tribute to the Athens Theater's origins as a variety theater for vaudeville when built in 1911. The New Bern Civic Theater presents New Bern Follies this Saturday from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. Come cheer on your favorite act as talented performers sing, dance, and amaze. Tickets can be purchased at newberncivictheater.org.
Dr. Jim Congleton will present a talk about the 27-piece outdoor sculpture collection that he has collected and donated to the college this Sunday from 2 to 4 on the New Bern campus. After the presentation, participants will be led on an interactive walking tour around the campus where they can scan the QR codes at each work to learn more about their history. This is a free event for the public.
Movie in the Park. Come out to Union Point Park this Friday at 8 p.m. for a free showing of the original Disney classic, Aladdin.
You've got a friend in me.
That's not an Aladdin song.
No?
That's a Toy Story song.
Oh, sorry.
You got to get your Disney songs
I
right.
do.
Popcorn, candy, and sodas, and lots of other goodies are available on site. I guess Aladdin could be your friend.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, let's make Aladdin your friend.
Little buddy.
Bring your blankets and lawn chairs and join the city of New Bern for a fun evening.
And don't do the sing-along Megan did. Join us for the 15th Annual Community Fabric Awards on April 29th from 12 to 1:30 at the Riverfront Convention Center. This event showcases individual businesses and educational excellence in leadership as demonstrated by outstanding initiative, impact of service, and inspiration of others. To purchase tickets or to be a sponsor, visit cravencc.edu/CFA.
Yep. I'll be there. Are you going this
I'm
year?
going.
Great.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're watching and you'll be there, please come by and say hello. And if you want to be a guest or you know somebody who you would like to suggest as a guest, please let us know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love the CFAs. So much fun. Still time to get tickets too? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. All right, guess what?
What?
We're going to come back here next week and do it all over again.
Let's do it.
Yes, it's going to be our episode 113 of In the Know in this studio. We'll be joined May 1st by Kathy Morrison of the New Bern Historical Society to discuss their Heritage Homes Tour.
I love it. Should be fun. You know, I've never gone on the Homes Tour. There's just something that's come up every single time. I've never been able
I
to go.
have, and it's lovely.
Okay.
Maybe-
Maybe she'll convince me next week.
Yes, I'm sure
Okay.
she will. So she's a great guest. We've had her several times. Represents New Bern Historical Society like a champ. So we're excited to have her back.
I've always heard great things about it. It's
Yeah.
really just timing every time.
Springtime's busy. You know,
Yes.
we all get kind of busy. So in the meantime, we will see you next week. But stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, and be careful on the water. Take the class. Bye.
Bye, everybody.